How you doing? It's my pleasure to introduce to you Aaron Rodgers, quarterback from California, who we're very pleased and happy to have joining the Green Bay Packers.
Got a couple things going at once, but see if Jason, we can get it $2 million as soon as possible. Right? All right. Get it out of the box. All right, welcome back, everybody. Continue with that. We'll get to the Brewer game in San Francisco in a couple of minutes for the number one draft choice. With the number 12, you're going to shake hands with Packer General Manager Ted Thompson. We're about to step to the podium and meet reporters here in Green Bay for the first time. Aaron Rodgers, University of California.
Go ahead.
Questions for Aaron, please.
Aaron, is that the same hat you got yesterday?
Yeah, I haven't took it off since I put it on, except to sleep.
Aaron, did you fly in today?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I just got in about 1:30.
Have you had a chance to walk around at all?
I have, yeah. Coach has been showing me around, and I'm excited.
What do you think of that big airport?
That's huge. Nice weather, though. I got into Detroit, and it was all snowing. Hadn't seen snow in a few years. But I'm excited.
What was last night like for you, and can you kind of put into perspective just what your day was like yesterday now that you've got a little time away?
It was a long day. Friday we were going at it, doing interview stuff all day, and actually slept pretty well Friday night, and woke up and talked to my agent about scenarios, and we're talking about things that could happen, and we really felt like that. We were hoping for the best, but preparing for the things that could happen, and when it did happen, it was a long day sitting in the green room, but I just knew that, kept telling myself everything happens for a reason, and couldn't have imagined me coming to a better spot, though. I think it's going to be a great relationship and a great fit for me. I'm just really excited about being able to play behind one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Have you talked to him yet?
No, actually, I got a call from a Mississippi number last night, and I was kind of hoping it might be Brett, but it was Rich Campbell, who I'd met before, and he just wished me good luck. So.
You were going over scenarios yesterday or the day before with your agent. Was one of the scenarios possibly falling to 24 to Green Bay? Was that something you actually discussed?
We didn't discuss it, but he just said be patient. It could be a long day, and we had talked about 49ers being out, possibly Miami taking me, maybe Tampa, and then just thinking that maybe my value as a pick might be enticing to number. To Arizona at 8, Washington at 9, then 14, 15, 16. And we said after that, Green Bay and Washington at 24, 25 could be possibilities. But I'm just thrilled about the opportunity that's in front of me.
Is there any point from this?
I hope this team doesn't take me because I'd rather go to Green Bay at 24. Maybe I would have been selected 8 big time.
Well, obviously when you sit in the green room, you just want to get out of there. But after we got past 16, we knew that the team between 17 and 23 probably weren't going to take me, and Green Bay was probably our next option. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized it could be a great fit for me, being able to learn from one of the best quarterbacks of all time and to not be throwing the fire right away, and come to a team with a storied franchise and winning tradition. I think it's going to be exciting and a great fit.
Any sense of deja vu from nobody calling in high school to nobody calling yesterday?
Wow, my brother said that to me, and I was kind of thinking that I've had to prove myself at every level. We didn't get recruited out of high schoschool. Went to junior college. Nobody really knew about me. Went to Cal with low expectations. Didn't start my first 4 games, and I seem to thrive when people tell me I can't do something. I've seemed to been able to turn that around and prove that I'm worthy of being a good quarterback. And I kind of like it when people doubt me and don't believe in me, because it just makes me work that much harder to prove them wrong.
Was there any point in time between the scouting combine, say the last year, you got the impression from San Francisco that you were their guy?
2 weeks ago when we met with them, things were looking really good. And I don't know what happened, but I'd rather be in a spot where a team wants me and believes in me and believes I can help them out. And Green Bay, I think, believes in me believes I can help him out in the future. 49ers went a different direction, and they're going to be disappointed.
Do you know why they went that direction? They ever give you an answer on it?
Aaron, how did you end up at Cal? Wasn't Tedford looking at somebody else at Butte or something?
Yeah, they were looking at our tight end at Butte College, Garrett Cross, who ended up being our tight end, my tight end at Cal, and saw me on film and questioned my JC coach about me, and he said I was a freshman, but I wasn't JC because I had bad grades or anything. I just was overlooked, and I had a real good SAT score and real good GPA in high school, and so I was able to leave after 1 year, and ended up, coach came up actually to practice one day and had a really good day of practice, and everything's worked out since then.
Is there less pressure on you because you don't have to go right into the fire right away, like you said, or more so because you're being expected now to replace a legend like Brett Favre, perhaps in a couple of years?
Well, I think there's less pressure right away, but obviously when the time comes for me to play, I'm going to be expected to play well, but I expect nothing less of myself.
What's the feeling like that you don't know when that time's going to come, though? I mean, who knows how much longer Favre's going to play?
I'm ready to learn from Brett as long as that might be, and there's no pressure on him. Obviously, he's the face of this franchise for so many years, and I'm just excited about the opportunity just to tap into his knowledge and to get to know him as a player in person and find out how he's been so successful over the last 15 years. So I don't think there's a timetable. It's all about Brett, and Brett's the guy, and I know my role on this team, and I'm just excited about the opportunity to get better each day.
Development you've made through the last 2 years playing football, what do you think possibly maybe 1, 2, 3 years of sitting?
Well, I think being able to learn from one of the greatest quarterbacks ever is going to make me a better player, and also being in a situation where this team's already got people in place, a great running back, a great receiving core, a solid defense. When the time comes for me to play, I'm not going to be expected to do maybe as much. You look at the success that Roethlisberger had last year at Pittsburgh, it's because he had a good, supporting cast in place. And I'll be very fortunate when my time comes to be able to be surrounded by a lot of quality players.
How do you
Well, it's frustrating because that's a stereotype that I think is unfairly put on me, and also I resent the fact that Coach Tedford's schemes and his techniques that he teaches in college get looked on negatively because he's been such a big part of my career and my success. A lot of his guys have been in situations, Dave at Houston and Joey in Detroit and Achille in Cincinnati, where they went to, and Trent in Tampa, where they went to teams that didn't have a very good supporting cast, and they struggled the first few years. And I think Dave's going to be a superstar, and Joey's going to have a good career, and Trent's going to have a great restart in Cleveland. So it's frustrating because nobody's had the success that Coach has had at the National Football level, and I think people are probably a little jealous of that, and it's just frustrating being part of a stereotype because I don't see myself as having those techniques as being a negative.
Answer the question of the draft process about your delivery that you brought up. Nice question where you place the ball and where you.
So what's the question?
How did you answer the questions when critics bring it up about your delivery?
Well, I just, they want to know if that's something I did at Butte or something I did at Cal, and it's obviously something that Jeff Tedford had me work on when I got there, and I like it. I mean, it helps me get the ball out of my hands a lot quicker, I feel, and there's no wasted motion in my throwing technique, and the whole thing about being a mechanic, I think, is a positive thing. I mean, when you're doing the same thing every time and there's no wasted motion, the ball gets out of your hands quicker. I'm not patting the ball. I don't have a wind-up on my delivery. I don't think it's a negative. I think it's a positive.
Aaron, why do you think the success rate of first-round quarterbacks in the last 15 years has been hit or miss? Whether those guys end up being
A lot of teams who draft at the top, when they draft quarterbacks, don't have very good supporting casts, and I think that paired with the fact that some of those guys aren't ready for the type of pressure situations that they enter causes a lot of guys to not be able to be successful.
What's your relationship like with Alex Smith?
Very good, actually.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. The media, I think, tried to make it out as this big controversy, and we didn't like each other. But it's interesting. Our first game, well, we had a similar story growing up, not getting recruited, getting overlooked, and he just had one scholarship offer, I had zero. But our first big game, his first start was my first extended playing time on ESPN when we were both sophomores, and ever since then I followed his career and been a big fan of his. And from the first time I met him, he was very nice and didn't have an ego or any problem, and we just get along really well. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of the footage on the NFL Network, but we were joking around on the bus and have a great time together.
In your heart, do you feel like you're the number one quarterback in this draft?
I do. Yes.
If Brett gets hurt in the middle of the season, would you feel comfortable going into step in?
Yes. Definitely.
How long before your patience runs out if you feel you're the number one pick? How long can you sit behind Brett Favre before you get it?
Brett is a legend, and I will be patient until he's ready to stop playing.
Aaron, in general, how do you look at disappointments and setbacks? How do you deal with them, whether they're personal or you guys not going to the Rose Bowl? I mean, how do you deal with that?
I just look at them as temporary setbacks and try and figure out ways to improve from them or learn from them. And every time I've had a temporary setback in high school, I didn't get recruited. Just worked that much harder to achieve my dreams. And I don't believe in failure. I don't believe I can't achieve anything I put my mind to. And so, when I'm challenged, when people don't believe I can do something, or when I haven't, gotten the recognition or been overlooked, I just work that much harder to prove to those people that they made a mistake.
Aaron, as you transition from the college game to the pro game, what areas do you think will be the biggest obstacles or present the biggest challenges for you to make the next step?
Well, I don't think there's going to be a lot of obstacles I need to jump over, but obviously my decision making, my reads need to, be quicker, just like the jump from JC to D1. The speed factor is going to be a little bit. It's obviously going to be a little bit faster, so I'm going to need to make my decisions quicker. And other than that, I'm just going to learn from Brett and try and improve every day.
So are you not going to change your carriage at all and backers and say anything about that?
I'm very coachable, so if the coaching staff here wants me to think about changing that up, I'll definitely be open to doing that. But unless I find a different way of throwing, I don't really feel like the way I throw is a negative, but I'm definitely open to suggestions.
Would you
hold the ball?
Just a little bit lower. This eliminated the step from my chest to the shelf where we carried a cow.
How important is it to you for your development to be on time for training camp?
That was very important. I obviously want to have a good image, a good reputation on the team as being a guy who wants to be here all the time, and I'm going to make sure my agent who works for me knows that it's imperative that I get to camp on time. I mean, in order to learn from Brett and just start to mold with these teammates, I'm going to need to be to camp on time.
Ryan Longwell.
Well, I think there's a couple things that have led to my increased accuracy. I've always been pretty accurate. I threw it over 60% in high school and over 60% at Butte. But in order to make the jump that I did this last season, a couple things went into play. Just being, this whole mechanical thing for me, it's just being more technical with my throws, just having the same release point, being consistent with my footwork, I think has allowed me to, when my feet are in the right position, I'm able to make throws more accurately. At the same time, I worked real hard in practice the last 2 years, and especially this last off season, on my fundamentals and just throwing the ball, 1,000 times just to improve my accuracy and work on, improve my accuracy, I guess.
Ryan Longwell was a Cal guy, but you couldn't get jersey number 8 out of him, apparently.
No, but I'll work on it.
Aaron, what'd you think of the reaction at the Javits Center yesterday? It seemed like you either got sympathy or got a lot of fans.
Well, yeah, it was. I really appreciate it. I think people kind of understood what I was going through in the green room. It wasn't the easiest situation, but obviously I had a lot of family there, and they were pretty loud, which was pretty cool. That made the whole experience. Kind of people were surprised by the way I acted. A couple of things went into that. Number one, I was with my family, so I was enjoying every minute of it. And it's a dream come true just to be able to be standing here, being an NFL player now. But that reception I got from the fans was pretty special.
Aaron, did you have surgery on your knee?
Last January, yeah. It was a reconstruction, but I'm fully recovered from that.
What was the problem?
I played with torn ACL my sophomore season, and got it fixed.
What's your itinerary this week? Are you going to go back home and then come back next weekend for a mini camp?
Yeah, I'm going to go back tonight, and then come back on Thursday and have a good mini camp hopefully.
And then what do you do after that? Do you go back home?
I don't know yet.
Is Cal a quarters or is Cal a
Cal's on semester. Semester.
Okay, so you'll be able to throw both of the camps?
I believe so. Yeah.
How do you plan the torn ACL?
What?
How do you plan the torn ACL?
You deal with the pain and strengthen your quad and hamstring.
Maybe you wore a brace?
No. No, I didn't.
How many games did you play with him?
14.
Which knee is that?
Left.
Well, there's another quarterback here that's got a pretty good reputation for toughness.
I like to think that I have some of the similar characteristics that Brett has. Mental and physical toughness are two of his huge strong points. I mean, his streak of consecutive starts is unbelievable. He's played with broken fingers and probably numerous injuries that he doesn't report to the press, which is unbelievable. And then his mental toughness, being able to bounce back from throwing an interception and still have the confidence to throw the ball just as hard and in the same spot time after time. That's been obviously two of the big reasons he's been so successful.